Welcome to Ignite Interviews. I'm Cyndi Donahue, and I'm very pleased that I get to have Chandler from Spokane Eats on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so glad to finally meet you. I've been reading your blog for a very long time. And how long have you been doing Spokane Eats?
So I started it back in 2015. So that was like 6 months after I moved here. And so I'd had 6 months to kind of like feel out the city. And when I first moved here, I was like, so I moved here with my husband. He was attending grad school here. And I was basically like, where are you taking me? Like, I don't want to move here. What is this place? Like, I'm from Texas and it's so different than anything I ever knew. So we moved here. Took me about 6 months to realize that actually this place is really rad and amazing. And there's so much to discover and do and eat and play and all of the things. So with that, I kind of just wanted to share that with everyone because I kind of didn't feel like there was someone that had an outlet like that to show off how great our city was. So that's kind of why I got started. And that was my why. Also, he was so busy, so I needed a hobby outside of my full-time job so that I stopped bugging him every night when he's trying to study. So that was it.
So that was your project. And have you always loved food? I mean, has being a foodie always been your thing?
I've always loved food. I grew up and I was so picky all of my time growing up. But then I went to college and just started trying everything and loved everything, trying, new fruits, new vegetables, just things that I had never really tried in my house. So that was great. And then I also went on a study abroad in college and we went to, London, Paris, Sweden, Denmark, Russia, Thailand, and China.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind. But with that, I really learned to love food from all cultures everywhere. That was just my favorite part of the trip, was going out, trying all these new things, getting to know these different cultures, trying authentic food from every country. And I just learned that I'm going to try everything once, and food can like help tell the story of people and places. And I loved that.
Very cool. That's a lot of places to go. How long were you traveling for?
It was only 22 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. We didn't sleep like at all, but it was the best experience ever.
That's so great. So you've always had this food passion.
Yes. I mean, who doesn't love food? And that was kind of why I chose food. It was a way to reach everyone in town. And luckily, I did that for a couple years, focusing only on food. And now I'm able to do a little bit of everything, which is what I really love. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I can now dip into all these different niches that people want to know about. And it's all just about local business.
So what are some of I know you've expanded into travel and into beauty. And what are the other areas that you've expanded into?
Yeah. So also it's pretty much just everything lifestyle. So we do fashion, we do health and wellness. We do, like you said, travel, beauty, family, mom life, all of those things.
And is it locally based? Is it local, Spokane Eats, obviously?
Yeah,
and
obviously
then,
the name.
Travel.
I know. And like I said, like the name was to try and reach everyone, and it did that. And now I'm like, well, shoot, I can't change the name, but I love the name and it's like part of me. So yeah, it's mostly focused on local. Because that was my goal, was just helping spread awareness about how great this city was and how awesome these businesses are and these chefs are and these entrepreneurs are in town, because it's a really, really special place. And I can say that having lived in a lot of different places, Spokane is super unique, and the way that people just wrap their arms around the community and show up to support them is one of a kind.
I agree. And I just had this conversation with someone else, but it's such a generous community.
Absolutely.
It's so open. And even though it's expanding, it's also has that local feel, that small town feel.
Yeah. And like I said, like I moved here and I felt kind of like an outsider for a little while, because I feel like a lot of people in town are born and raised here, and there's like kind of like a little group like right there, but then there's all these transplants that are now moving here. So, I mean, I guess my advice to, if you're new and you've moved here, would just be like, give it some time, like go out and meet people, because I think it takes a minute for the community to let you in, but then once they do, like you're one of them, and it's a family, really.
It's so cool that you moved here and almost immediately you were like, I'm going to promote Spokane. I mean, it's kind of an amazing thing that you kind of adopted our community first before it even kind of came to know you.
Yeah, well, we knew we were going to be here for at least 4 years. So I kind of was just like, you know what, I'm going to go all in. Because like I said, when my husband told me we were moving here, I was like, oh, really? Like, are we sure? And I was like, I'm not going to waste 4 years like thinking I don't like where I live, because we were on the north side. And so that's kind of like all I knew. we didn't go downtown very much. I worked downtown, but it was like I was there all day and then I drove straight home to the north side. So once I started to give it a chance and explore and see things, that's when I really fell in love. And I'm like, okay, I have to tell everyone. I have to tell my friends, my family, and like anyone that will listen how much I love this city.
And how many followers do you have now?
Oh gosh, I don't, 37,000
that follow the blog. I mean, obviously social media is a whole other animal.
That's just Instagram. Instagram. Yeah. And then, I mean, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Pinterest, and then we have our website. So there's more traffic than that, obviously, but that's Instagram. And Instagram is like my little baby. And like, that's what I love. And I kind of do everything else because it's all part of the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. But Instagram is where my heart is.
That's where your heart is.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd like to use that for a commercial. And so what are some of your favorite restaurants right now?
Oh my gosh. Hardest question ever. What meal? Breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Let's go through all of them. What about breakfast?
Okay, breakfast. Gosh. I love Bruncheonette. I love Mexican food, and their food kind of has a Mexican flair. So I love that. And every time I go there, I try something different and fall in love with a new dish every time, which is so special and unique and rare for restaurants, I think. So that's my go-to for breakfast. And they're open every day. So like, there's a ton of brunch that's only open on the weekends that is great, but I love having that option on a Tuesday morning, you know, to get a really good brunch. And then lunch, gosh, I love a good sandwich for lunch. So Brooklyn Deli's incredible. I love Dominis. I love Smacky's on Broadway. It's this little hidden gem that is like off a random exit, like a trucker stop kind of thing, but they have incredible sandwiches. Okay, dinner.
Let's do dinner. Yeah, I'm actually sitting here thinking I want to be you and like just spend my time going to restaurants and writing about them. It's the coolest job ever. It's
like the best life. I know. And yeah, I will. And it's crazy too, because we'll go and have like, we'll try 4 appetizers, 4 entrees, 4 desserts. And so we leave and we're just like, oh my gosh, got to unbutton my pants, got to go on a walk, got to do something. And I also should mention I have interns that help me with everything. So that has been incredible. And they're just the best ever. I have, one of them just moved because she got a big girl job after she graduated. But I have one intern right now. Her name's JC. She's awesome. And then we're interviewing, doing our second round tomorrow. So they're really great. But anyway, so back to dinner. Wooden City is a new favorite. Mm-hmm. Incredible. I have yet to have anything there I didn't love. I love Wild Sage for special occasions. They are super special. I love 1898 out north. It's by my house, so we go there a lot. It's so hard to pick.
You're still a North Sider.
Yes.
And you have one daughter.
I have a daughter. Her name's Baylor. She is almost a year and a half. She is just a little ball of energy, never stops moving, and loves to give hugs and kisses, loves babies. It's just, she's so fun.
And where do you like to take her the most? Like, so restaurant with kids, mm-hmm. what would be your choice for that?
We go to Twig's a lot because they have a great kids menu, lots of options. She loves their French fries. Who doesn't love their French fries? Let's see. I take her everywhere. And it's been interesting too, because she's a COVID baby. She was born in January 2020. So right before Fit hit the shan and everything went crazy. So I've really tried, now that restaurants are back open, to get her out as much as possible because I want her to be comfortable in that setting. That is very much my life and it will be forever. So I want her to be comfortable in all sorts of different kinds of restaurants. So that's kind of my goal with that. So she goes everywhere, whether it's, drive-through fast food or super fine dining. She'll come eat and try everything.
And what do you think is one of the more innovative, newer restaurants that is either, reopened or opened recently? Is there one that you think is the most innovative or different?
Oh, good question. So I hope I'm saying this right, but Tavolata.
Right, the new one. Yes.
Yeah, am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, new pasta place. So my interns actually went, 2 weeks ago maybe, or right when they opened. And then I'm going again this week. So super excited to try that menu. They spoke very highly of it. There's not a lot of pasta options in town. There are a couple that are really great, but I think this is a fun, innovative new menu.
And then what about any sort of ethnic food that you think for you that you enjoy the most, or restaurants that you like?
I love Queen of Sheba. Have you been there?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
In the flour mill?
Yes. I love, love, love them. So I go there all the time and it's super great to take people there for like their first experience with that, because I think it's like, it's very different and a lot of people have never had food like that, but I think it's still really approachable and nothing's like too crazy flavorful or too different. So that's one of my absolute favorites. And then I love sushi. So I go to Sushi Wa on the north side a lot. Love them. Their sushi's incredible.
I keep peppering you with questions, but now I want to ask you one more. Yeah. So what is the most like for romance, like for if you're going to go on a date, where would you take someone? Or tell them to go?
Yeah, no, that's hard. I get that a lot actually. Or like where should I go on a first date, which is totally different than a romantic date, right? But we go to Wild Sage for like every anniversary. It's just special because it's small, but it's intimate, but the menu's incredible. You're always going to be happy with what you have. I also love Luna. It's very charming, and chef and baker are almost always there working, so you know everything's going to be fresh and delicious. Yeah,
that's a pretty good list. I sort of just like put you on the spot for
I know. I'm going to leave and be like, shoot, I forgot this and this and this.
And is there a philosophy that you operate by? You know, is there, I know you're trying to just promote our region, which we all appreciate, but is there anything that you kind of live by or that's important to you?
Yeah. So from day one, I kind of decided I was not going to publish negative reviews. So I think kind of starting out, people looked at me or thought of me as a food critic, and that's very much not what I am. That's not my mission. That's not what I've started this account to be. I'm just a girl who loves Spokane and wants to share that with everyone. So I'm never going to post a negative review. We eat out a lot and I don't post about it because I didn't have a great experience. I didn't love what I was eating. So I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And I get the question all the time, well, what if you're invited somewhere and you try it and you hate it? Then I'll pay for my meal and leave and say, thank you. We'll give it a shot in 3-6 months, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that has happened a couple times, but I think most of the time I try and really highlight what I do love about the business. So if it's a new chef who's trying something different, or if we liked this specific dish, I'll try and highlight that. So I just think there's a lot of negativity and just sadness out there on social media. And I want to be that light and like that happy place that people know, you know, it's always going to be just light and fun and positive.
Well, we appreciate that. And I think that's a good why, you know, to be the light in the midst of the craziness that is social media and online, to be a positive voice is it's a strong position to take. Honestly, I think that's it's not just kind, it's helpful too.
Thank you.
For everyone. Well, I'm glad that you came on the show. And is there anything else we should know that's coming up next for Spokane Eats? Anything that's happening coming up?
What is not happening? Life is so crazy now that things are opening back up. It's just super busy. I recently partnered with a local media company called Victory Media, and I'm helping run their social department. So that was a big part of my business when I quit my full-time job and started doing Spokane Eats full-time. It was because businesses were coming to me and saying, hey, I love what you've done on Spokane Eats. Can you come and do that for me in my business? So I really love giving people the tools and the knowledge that I have learned from doing this for so many years and helping them succeed for their business, because there's so much power in social media and a lot of people don't realize, or they don't want to invest the time or the money, but it is so worth it if you do it right. And I love just giving people those tools, helping them succeed. And so running the social department has been a huge learning curve, a huge time commitment in my life, but it's so rewarding when I can, you know, give people the knowledge that I have and, you know, help them grow their business.
So you're really giving back what you learned in social media and helping others apply that to their businesses.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. Well, that is very helpful for all of us in the community. And I'm so glad that you moved here.
Me too. Me too. I know. I wasn't, but I am.
Yeah, I had the same experience. So I moved here 15 years ago, and we were going to move here, and I was pregnant with my daughter.
Okay.
And I was like, where is Spokane? I don't know where that is. It snows there because I'm from from the sun. Yeah. And literally within the year of moving here, I just was like, this is my home. People here are so genuine, so kind, and it's such a great life here in Spokane. So
absolutely. And I think people need to stay open to new people moving here. I think there's this negative connotation. Oh, everyone's moving here. Everyone's taking over our city. But there's so much positive from that too. People can bring in new ideas and new businesses and just new perspective. And I think we need to just go with the flow and learn from those people and just stay positive, because I know a ton of amazing people that have moved here in the last 5, 10, 15 years like you and have done great things for the city. So I think as long as we all have the same mission and we want to support the city and see it grow, we can really benefit from new people.
Awesome. Well said. Well, thank you again for coming on Ignite Interviews.
Thanks for having me.